Ladies and gentlemen, the guest of honor, the class of 1995.
The corporation and the faculty of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology are now declared convened, together with this assembly, on the occasion of the commencement exercises of this institution for the conferring of its degrees. The stage assembly and the audience will please rise and join Professor Ellen Harris, Associate Provost for the Arts, in the singing of one verse of the Star-Spangled Banner, to be followed by the invocation by Reverend Draper.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rent the air, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let us pray. O God, our help and our hope, I come in prayer today knowing that you are present here, for you are God with us. We ask for your blessing because that is what you like to do, to bless your creation and your people. I offer thanksgiving for the accomplishments and the achievements of each graduate, for the support and love of family and friends, for spouses and children who have endured lonely hours, for faculty, administration, and staff who exist not only unto themselves, but to multiply the pursuit for truth. God, our help, our hope, I ask you to guide each graduate to clothe their intellect with compassion and concern for good. Help them to prize a personal standard so strong and so dear that when they arrive at the crossroads of decision, they will know the just and the right thing to do. Help them to love their families, both present and future, with a selfless and committed love, to love their neighbors as themselves. For this is the springboard of true success. May we savor this moment as a representation of all that has gone on before, and help us to remember this moment as an inspiration of what is to be. In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, I pray. Amen. You may be seated.
I am pleased to welcome to the platform the Honorable Kenneth E. Reeves, Mayor of the City of Cambridge. It is my pleasure now to welcome Hannah H. Gray, the Harry Pratt Judson Distinguished Service Professor of History and President Emeritus of the University of Chicago. Professor Gray will now give the address.
Good morning. There is a famous story, famous at least in the Connecticut River Valley, about a crusty, patriotic old Vermonter who lived on an island in the Connecticut River. The border between New Hampshire and Vermont runs along there, and one year a team was sent out to survey it. They discovered quite unexpectedly that the old man actually lived on the New Hampshire side of the line, and they set out with considerable trepidation to give him this news. To their astonishment, he replied, "Well, thank the good Lord. I was beginning to think I'd never be able to tolerate another of those goddamn Vermont winters." Graduates of 1995, yours is the exact analog to the old man's situation. The boundary that separates you from another Boston winter has been drawn. You have been surveyed and found to be bachelors of science, masters of science, PhDs, all those good things, and therefore citizens of some world, some state, popularly known as the real world. Yet tomorrow I suspect that your spiritual terrain will be roughly the same, and so will you, quite dramatically unchanged, if perhaps gratified, to have survived into your new citizenship. But in the meantime, unkind fates have decreed that your passage must be marked by the rite of the commencement speech. Let me therefore begin by congratulating all of you on whom degrees are being conferred today, and let me remind you that my own presence here is meant to keep this from happening too quickly. For that, in the etiquette of these occasions, would be considered unseemly. You are meant to be restrained from stampeding this platform in search of your diplomas and from then rushing out into the great world by the double defense of your natural good manners and my unnatural verbosity. And this, I can reveal to you now, is really the point of the commencement speech. Its function is to prolong the ceremony, and to do so in order to make it appear that something has really happened here today as you move on from the Institute. You will move on, and at the same time you will always retain your citizenship in this university. I hope that you will always think of it not as an escape from the world out there, but as a real world too. Without it, the larger world and its possibilities would be impoverished, the quality of its life, its civilizing values, and social purposes impaired. The mission of this institute has to do with learning along a broad spectrum of undergraduate, graduate, and professional study. It has to do with learning as scholarship, with learning as the discovery of knowledge. It is concerned with learning as the enjoyment of knowledge, of creativity and their products. It is directed to learning as the initiation into a lifetime of taking learning seriously, of taking seriously the process of trying to come to some understanding and wisdom, of committing to the obligation of thought, of critical judgment, of the willingness to confront complexity, to examine assumptions, to see things in their relationships and contexts, and to engage with and benefit from the thinking of others. These qualities are pertinent to every activity of life, every vocation, every decision, every exercise of citizenship and of responsible choice. The university exists for learning in all these senses, and it does so for the long term, not for the pursuit of immediate fad and fashion. Its existence and its sustenance represent society's continually renewed investment in its future. Just as your education will have no effective value unless you continue to make its imperatives your own, so the university cannot thrive and play its special role in serving society unless you care for it and care for enabling its moral and intellectual purposes. Robert Frost once said, "Education doesn't change life much, it just lifts trouble to a higher plane of regard." And that, I suppose, is one of the gifts and one of the challenges bestowed on us as thinking beings. It would often be a lot easier not to think, as it would also be easier not to try to see things whole or to take into account new or different or difficult or unsettling ways of reviewing what we may have taken comfortably for granted. In attaining the status of alumni, you will, of course, be eligible to receive copious communications of great courtesy and eloquence from the Institute, rather different in tone from those stern reminders that greeted you in your mailboxes here. You will also find, unless you are very, very careful, that the university will, perhaps as early as tomorrow, begin to suffer a permanent state of decline. It is the common experience of graduates that their institution is never quite what it was in their own day and in their memories, and that not to be the same, or the place of one's memory, is inevitably to be less in stature. All commentary on education, a subject on which everyone, but everyone, has very strong and very stubborn opinions, all such commentary assumes that things are generally getting worse. In fact, if you have been listening at all to current commentaries, you would have to believe that you cannot possibly have been educated at all, or educated nearly as well as people used to be educated. And you may come in turn to believe that your successor's fate is even more horrendous. Why is this? Why do people forget the wise old saying that the schools ain't what they used to be and never was? You will, being at least more or less educated, recognize that this is a rhetorical question. As Sam Goldwyn put it, when I want your opinion, I'll give it to you. I think the answer has a lot to do with the ways in which education and its institutions, as they are thought about, get transformed into emblems of other causes and hopes and fears. It is instructive to see how much of the rhetoric having to do with the decline of higher education derives from the language of a larger nostalgia and from romantic visions of a golden age that never quite existed. Instructive to see how much has to do with the resistance to major changes that cannot be argued away. Universities, seen as institutions immune to change and even caricatured for their conservatism, are at the same time regarded, especially, not of course at MIT, but elsewhere by some of their alumni, as institutions that should not change. And that ought instead to preserve their own past as they, its loyalists, wish to remember it. A timeless security against the disintegrations and disappointments, the corruptions and uncertain turnings of a threatening and fragmenting world. To the degree that universities mirror the tensions and shifts within the larger society, they become objects of the disillusionments and fears which those evoke. They appear as once safe places suddenly made dangerous. I'm not for a moment arguing that there is not much to strengthen and improve within higher education, but I am arguing that the symbolic and selective uses of memory and devotion have to be understood for what they are before we can think clearly about the state of higher education and its institutions. Let me give you just one example. Once upon a time, people say there was greater harmony on our campuses. Whether true or not, it is certainly true that once upon a time, and not so long ago, there was greater homogeneity on our campuses. And surely to have a broadened diversity now is a positive improvement and an educational good. Our campuses, as a result, have come to reflect more fully some of the problematic tensions in our society. An academic community in which those can be identified and discussed and understood from different points of view is in fact a better, if not a more comfortable, place for learning than the colleges of old. But education is not meant to be comfortable. We forget that too often. It is not meant to be comfortable, however enriching. To think about education is, in fact, to think about a great deal more. The debates over the nature and uses of education go far beyond the questions of curriculum and academic preparation. Ideals of education, what it should be about, what it should be for, how its worth should be assessed, are in the end statements about the future and the ideals we would wish to see realized in that future. Statements about human and social purpose and possibility, statements about the nature of human society, its needs and aspirations, statements about the character and direction of civilized existence. They are reflections, too, on the present, on its deficiencies and corruptions and opportunities, and reflections on the past, the lessons it provides to be perpetuated or discarded. And so to think critically about education is to think purposefully about the future and its requirements, and to be willing to accept and to help shape the complexities of change. It is to create standards by which to measure the quality of what institutions represent over time in light of the fundamental values by which we hope to be guided. It is to be reminded that those institutions and their enduring goals require continuing renewal, and that this depends on the educated commitment of all their citizens. It is to develop one's vision of hope and substantive purpose for the generations to come. Another important diversity in higher education rests in the pluralism of our system of higher education itself. We have many different kinds of universities and colleges, many different kinds of opportunities and points of entry, many ways in which to afford choice on the basis of their special interests and talents and goals of the particular institution in which students and faculty decide to become members. We should resist the impulse toward homogeneity toward which we are often urged or driven by the rhetoric and regulation of higher education and so much else in our world. The Massachusetts Institute of Technology is an institution of great distinction, one in whose uncompromising dedication to the quality of its own mission you can always take great pride, in part because it has had the courage and continuing foresight to be clear about its own best purposes and to adhere steadfastly to a defined institutional personality that lends shape and weight to its programs of research and education. So you will, of course, see changes over time, but if they are the changes required to sustain rather than to swerve from the Institute's essential ethos, that will be a sign of health and strength, not of decline. Of course, if you begin to see the place offering gut courses or Division I football or an easy life, we will all have to think again. And now, as you depart for the great world, I will leave you with one admonition, drawn from the philosopher Pete Seeger. Do you know, he asked, the difference between education and experience? Education is when you read the fine print. Experience is what happens when you don't. I hope for all of you that the fine print on your diplomas will speak to a satisfying and productive experience throughout your lives, one that will carry with it good memories and continuing care for what matters about your university. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you very much, Professor Gray, for doing so much more than prolonging the ceremony. Your insightful comments on the nature of education and the necessity of change are so appropriate to the moment. Now, Mr. Roger G. Kermode, President of the Graduate Student Council, will give a salute to MIT from the graduate student body. Following this, Mehran Islam, President of the senior class, will present the class gift to President Vest. After Mr. Islam's presentation, President Vest will deliver his charge to the graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Gray. I'm sure we all remember our first day at MIT, and in particular thinking, wow, I'm actually here. We'd all heard that MIT is an extremely challenging place, where receiving an education could be likened to trying to take a sip from a fire hydrant. What we weren't told, however, was that the fire hydrant didn't just have a single outlet, but 3 that would follow us as we tried to get out of their way. Seriously though, MIT has given us so much more than just the opportunity to receive the world's best academic training. It has also provided us with the opportunity to work and socialise with people from all over the country and indeed the world. We've worked on projects and assignments together, played on intramural teams together, flamed about having too much work together, survived the coldest winter on record together, and now we are graduating together. So as you head out into the world to make your mark, whether you've been here for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, or perhaps a little longer, remember that these lessons of teamwork and camaraderie are just as important as those we learned in the lab and in the classroom. Finally, for those of you who thought, wow, I'm here, when you first arrived, you're probably thinking, wow, I've made it. Well, give yourselves a pat on the back, because you have. Congratulations and good luck, but not that you'll need that luck, because I'm sure that MIT is undoubtedly the best place to learn how to drink from a fire hydrant without getting hosed.
President Vest, Professor Gray, members of the corporation, stage principals, faculty, families and guests, graduates and seniors, good morning. I'd like to say a few words before the presentation of the class gift. I want to talk about examinations, of which I think there are basically 3 kinds. The first kind includes the academic examinations we have gone through in schools and in college. In those, we needed to do fairly well or pass to be where we are today, receiving degrees from this fine institution. The second kind of examination is the one life will expose us to. In those, failure in one or more will not mean we can't receive a degree from life. In fact, we learn from the failures in order to be successful in life. However, it is the third kind of examination that I'm concerned about most, and that is the examination we have to put ourselves through. Examining ourselves, looking into ourselves, questioning ourselves. To me, life is all about interacting well with each other, for which we have to understand each other and understand ourselves. So seniors, congratulations and best wishes to us all as we begin the journey and step into our futures. Let us remember that if we believe in our goals and believe in ourselves, we shall all be successful in life. And more than the attainment of the goal itself, it is the values we maintain during the pursuit of that goal that will be a measure of our success. In the words of Mahatma Gandhi, quote, "In times to come, the people will not judge us by the creed we profess, or the label we wear, or the slogan we shout, but by our work, industry, sacrifice, honesty, and purity of character," unquote. And at the end, when we pass away, our tombstones will not read, "To the greatest engineer or the most prolific scientist," but will rather say, "To the greatest companion or the most wonderful person on earth." Thank you. Now, I'd like to invite President Vest to come join me at the podium during the presentation of the senior class gift. This year's senior class gift is the Class of 1995 Europe Fund. Europe, the Undergraduate Research Opportunities Program, is unique to MIT, providing 80% of the undergraduate student population with funding for research activities carried out under the supervision of faculty members. Europe recently suffered from federal cutbacks, and the Class of 95 Fund will help allay some of the burdens. The senior class gift will continue to provide students with excellent opportunities to pursue innovative and creative research interests. As of today, 27% of the senior class has participated in the Senior Gift Program. By the time of our 5th reunion, we'll have raised $54,000. This includes matching gifts from the class of 1945. On behalf of the class of 1995, I hereby announce the presentation of the senior class gift, the class of 1995 Europe Fund, to President Vest. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Islam. It's a moving experience to receive a gift from the class at a moment like this, especially after all we've put you through in the last 4 years. It's very good of you. There are some who ask whether good teaching and good research in fact go hand in hand. Your gift, a Europe scholarship, clearly states the answer. Indeed they do. I very much hope that your vision and generosity will serve as a model to other classes which follow. Thank you very much. There could be no more meaningful gift to the institution. Once again, we are gathered here in Killian Court, the great court of MIT, to celebrate accomplishment, heritage, and passage. It may seem a bit odd that a community so dedicated to the future would come together on this occasion dressed in strange and colorful medieval regalia. But indeed it is fitting and seemingly fulfilling of some deep human need that such rituals take place. They remind us of our role in an unbroken, centuries-old chain of discovery, learning, and accomplishment, achievements of the mind and of the spirit. But above all, this ceremony celebrates your accomplishments during your student years. This is not to say that you have accomplished this remarkable feat of graduating from MIT all on your own, however. We are surrounded today by parents, family, friends, spouses, and children who have supported and sustained you throughout the years. You will recognize them today by their smiles, brought about by their great pride in your accomplishments, and also, no doubt, by a sense of great relief to their bank accounts. Let us, therefore, express our deep appreciation to all of them who have joined us in Cambridge today to celebrate your commencement ceremony. Will you, our graduates, please rise, turn to your parents and families, and give them the applause they so richly deserve. Thank you. It is also especially wonderful to see all the babies and small children who come to see their mothers and fathers graduate. They too are welcome, and as this ceremony stretches onward, I give them special presidential approval to comment upon the proceedings at any time and in any manner they see fit. I would like to take a moment to recognize some other special graduates of MIT who are with us today. They are the members of the class of 1945, the 50-year class, and the class of 1970 celebrating their 25th reunion. You will recognize them by the red or gray jackets they are wearing, along with a certain look of wonder that time has somehow passed so quickly since they were in your shoes. Time has passed quickly, and it has brought extraordinary change along with it. 50 years ago, we were emerging from the Second World War, a period when MIT was called to national service. Our scientists and engineers helped to develop radar. Students moved through here in double time, and many took up arms in defense of freedom and democracy. It was a time of crisis for the country and for the world, and the people of MIT responded. 25 years ago, we faced difficult times of a different sort. The country and this campus were divided over the Vietnam War. It was a time of great strain But the true gift of our society is that even in moments of highest crisis, we not only tolerate, we protect the voices of dissent. Some serve by bearing arms, others by forcing look at hard questions. In each of these generations, the men and women of MIT answered the call in their own way. Now, as you look to the future and ponder the world you are entering, my wish for you is that of a life well lived. And how does this wish for a life well lived relate to the intense, rigorous, analytically based education that you have received here at MIT? And how does it relate to the class of 1945 who join you today and who 50 years ago brought science, technology, and personal valor to bear on the defeat of the undisputed evil of Nazism? And how does it relate to the class of 1970, which struggled with the moral, intellectual, and political dilemmas of the Vietnam War and its meaning for American society? And most important, how does this wish for a life well lived relate to the world we face today? Ours is a world of contrasts. We are coming to understand the common stake in the global environment and the global economy. Yet there is a terrifying resurgence of nationalist and ethnic conflict across the world, and there are truly incredible levels of violence and purposelessness in our own nation. It is a world that is experiencing both scientific progress and economic advancement at the same time that there is growing stratification of wealth and divisions among peoples. It is a world permeated with both hope and despair. How indeed does a wish for a life well lived relate to this world? In searching for the answers, we can do no better than to reflect on the life of a great person who shared this platform with us for many years. He is with us no more. Former MIT President Jerome Wiesner died last fall. You must know about him. Jerry Wiesner showed us all a life well lived, one that took form from and gave form to the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. His was a life that drew deeply on science and engineering, but also encompassed humanism, educational leadership, artistic sensibilities, and statecraft. Jerry Wiesner was of MIT. The Research Laboratory of Electronics, the Department of Electrical Engineering, the School of Science, and the entire institute were led by him at one time or another. He promoted the growth of the humanities, the arts, and the social sciences in our midst. He led us in bringing women and minorities into this academy. He maintained an international perspective and a worldview in all that he did. He looked to the future. He co-founded the Media Laboratory. He reveled in discourse with everyone at MIT, students, trustees, staff, faculty, alumni, and alumni, all of our community. And Jerry Wiesner was a citizen of the world. He was science advisor to 2 U.S. presidents. He convened informal and impassioned dialogue among government officials and student protesters. During the Cold War, he was a guiding light of the Pugwash Conference and movement that sustained discussion across national and political boundaries. He worked tirelessly to awaken the world from the nightmare of nuclear standoff. He played a key role in obtaining the release of the Soviet scientist and dissident Andrei Sakharov. He shaped major corporations and foundations through his service on their boards. Yet throughout all of this life on the world stage, he lived quietly and simply with his beloved wife Leah in Watertown and on the Vineyard. And through it all, he spoke his mind. Listen to what, in part, America's great poet Archibald MacLeish said of Jerry Wiesner. A good man, look at him there against the time. He saunters along to his place in the world's weather, lights his pipe and hitches his pants, talks back to accepted opinion. Congressional committees hear him say, not what you think, but what you haven't thought of. He addresses presidents. He says, governments even now still have to govern. No one is going to invent a self-governing Holocaust. The Pentagon receives his views. Science, he says, is no substitute for thought. Miracle drugs, perhaps, but not miracle wars. Advisor to presidents, the papers call him. Advisor, I say, to the young. It's the young who need competent friends, bold companions, honest men who will not run out, won't write off mankind, sell up the country, quit the venture, jibe the ship. How does that life relate to MIT? We, all of us, are MIT. We must nurture, support, love, and build this institution for the future, as he did. And how does Jerry's life relate to us and to the class of 1945? We, like they, must turn our talents to the greater good and be prepared to sacrifice in the effort when the times demand it. And how does it relate to us and to the class of 1970? We, like they, must boldly address the profound dilemmas which the world presents to us. And how does it relate to the world you face, which you, as the class of 1995, will soon shape and lead? You must keep alive the joy, excitement, beauty, rationality, and creativity of science and technology deeply understood. Yet you must also understand the power and the potential of science and technology to enable great good, but also evil. In other words, you must never cease to consider the context in which its powers are applied and its ability to shape the world for better or worse. You must strive to understand complexity and to contemplate the world from a systems perspective. Strive to integrate the understandings of humanists and artists with those of scientists, engineers, managers, architects, planners, and social scientists. Live your lives well, ponder the unthinkable, question the status quo, live in the world as well as your own nation, dream of a better future, and contribute to the present. Share your talents. Be competent friends and bold companions of the young. Address the really important issues of your time. Be honest and do not run out. But back to today and our celebration of your commencement. As you prepare to receive your diplomas and a hearty handshake from the president or provost, ponder one more lesson from Jerry Wiesner. Some years ago, a man came up to Jerry long after he'd retired as MIT's president, and he said, "Dr. Wiesner, do you remember me? You shook my hand at graduation 20 years ago." Well, Jerry reluctantly admitted that he wasn't sure that he exactly remembered him, but the man said to him, "But sir, you said something to me as I came through the line to receive my diploma that changed my life. It was the secret of my successful career." "Well, my goodness," Jerry said, "what did I say to you?" "Dr. Wiesner, you said, keep on moving, keep on moving." Men and women of MIT, keep on moving. Live your lives well. I wish you Godspeed and the best of good fortune.
By virtue of the authority delegated to them by the Corporation of the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, and on the recommendation of the faculty, President Vest will now present the Bachelor of Science degrees and the Bachelor and Master of Science degrees awarded simultaneously. And Provost Wrighton will present advanced degrees. The names of the recipients of Bachelor of Science degrees and Bachelor and Master of Science degrees awarded simultaneously will be read by the Associate Provost, Philip L. Clay, and the Dean of Undergraduate Education and Student Affairs, Arthur C. Smith. The names of the recipients of the advanced degrees will be read by the deans of the schools. The first persons to be recognized are the class marshals, who are seated here on the stage.
Recognition will now be given to the officers of the class of 1995 and the President and Vice President of the Graduate Student Council, who are seated on the stage. Mehran Islam, President of the class of 1995, is awarded the degree of Bachelor of Science in Environmental Engineering Science. Quentin E. Walker, Vice President of the class of 1995, is awarded the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nuclear Engineering. Roger G. Kermode, President of the Graduate Student Council, is pursuing a doctorate through the program of Media Arts and Sciences. Stan J. Rice, Vice President of the Graduate Student Council, is awarded the degrees of Master of Science in Electrical Engineering and Computer Science and Master of Science in Operations Research.
Bachelor of Science diplomas will now be presented to students in the School of Architecture and Planning who have completed the specified degree requirements. Bachelor of Science in Art and Design, Victor R. Berliner.
Advanced degree diplomas will now be presented to students in the School of Architecture and Planning who have completed the specified degree requirements. Master of Architecture, Steve Lee.
Rebecca L. Berry.
Eric C. Ma.
Martin I. Campos.
Frank P. Marinese.
Fawn T. Davenport.
Suzanne M. May.
Dawn M. David.
Anthony O. Montalto.
Maria T. Grauyeris, member of Class of 1995 Executive Committee.
Alyssa B. Parker.
James E. Goulstone.
Robert F. Reifus, Jr.
Stacy M. Hinn.
Kathleen M. Schaefers.
Stephen M. Wong.
Jeannie Singh.
Arlie Kim.
Paul C. Wong.
Caroline Kwok.
Master of Science in Architecture Studies, Onyekachi D. Akoma.
Winnie Kwon.
Ping Hung Chang.
Senyan Law.
Mingzheng Gao.
Trinh Tao Lin.
Syed Faisal Hassan.
Michelle P. McKiernan.
Fatima Hirji.
Carl P. Monkelwitz.
Timothy C. Hurley.
Crusader Navarro Diaz.
Axel R. Jokshap.
Eric Orozco.
John V. Lewis.
Maria E. Palacios Gilberti.
Adnan Zilur Moshed.
Bradley V. Pearson.
Sean E. Sensor.
Brandy M. Shin.
Katrin M. Silverberg.
Michael S. Takahashi.
Munu Sobte.
Eric J. Wilson.
Chen Wang.
Janet S. Woods.
George F. Wilson III.
Bachelor of Science is recommended by the Department of Architecture. Christopher F. Graysick.
Kevin A. Young.
Max Lord.
Master of Science in Building Technology, Roger O. Hill.
Bachelor of Science in Planning, David A. Brandenberger.
Catherine J. Holden.
Nika Lee.
Gulip M. Okatan.
Kyle S. Sinsinki.
Jimmy C. Su.
Bachelor of Science diplomas will now be presented to students in the School of Engineering who have completed the specified degree requirements. Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering, Leanne A. Ati.
Master in City Planning, Anne E. Beamish.
James R. Brooks.
Catherine A. Bennett.
Claudia Bull.
Marie-Therese L. Bernard.
Travis C. Carpenter.
Beverly Bayer Gallo.
Roderick B. Diaz.
David T. De Sola.
Denise A. Garland,
Claudia E. Diaz-Ruiz,
Julie C. Holmes,
Charlotte Emungu,
Rachel S. Rockcharan,
Anne M. Gelfand,
Karen E. Schmidt,
Amindo Gonsalves,
Jonathan J. Sigmund,
Michael F. Gray,
Scott J. Smith,
Caris Hebert,
Stacy J. Sonnenberg,
Jennifer M. Hill,
Tracy L. Williams,
Jennifer Hyde,
Lynn I. Yang,
Muhammad Fauzi M. Iksan,
Bachelor of Science in Environmental Engineering Science, Krishan A. Amar Shikara,
Karen Ko,
Manuel T. Cadena,
Leichen Kaur,
Judy C. Gagnon,
Kathleen A. Mann,
Holly S. Gu,
Yoshitaka Matsuda,
Nicole L. Gatti,
Roberto Meta,
Benjamin J. Jordan,
Gleb Nechayev Kaitsev,
Keith H. Leighton,
Maria E. Nera,
Alexander R. Smolin,
Tess Oliver,
Melinda A. Moss,
Paul J. Parmigiani,
Bina M. Patel,
Gregory A. Russell,
Joseph A. Prim III,
Jacques P. Sandberg,
Nicole A. Wainwright.
Elizabeth A. Stock,
Bachelor of Science is recommended by the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering. James L. Falter.
Kevin P. Sullivan,
Manju Anna Brisky.
Cheryl L. Taylor,
Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Sarah J. K. Adam.
Joel L. Wiener,
Sanjay Kher Agarwal.
Master of Science in Urban Studies and Planning, Wendy J. Pabik,
James D. Albee.
Master of Science in Media Arts and Sciences, Derek A. Atkins,
Akabari B. Ombri.
Jeffrey A. Herman,
Hector M. Ayala Vasquez.
Scott C. Higgins,
Louis Berga Varela.
Gilbert Hubat,
Lisa D. Bailey.
David L. Kung,
Javier V. Banos.
Matthew T. Marks,
Christopher J. Berg.
Max E. Metrol,
LaShawn J. Berrien.
Lee H. Morganroth,
Kendrick C. Boardman Jr.
James R. Sargent,
Nicholas E. Bolwig.
Andrew D. Wilson.
Bradley E. Brewer.
Master of Science in Real Estate Development, Barbara L. Slater.
Andrew M. Carwell.
Master of Science without specification of field, Frank Cowell.
Derek H. Cadillo.
Jill S. Kleiser,
Shamatra C. Chakraborty.
Deb K. Roy.
Lydia C. Chan.
Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto, Mark E. Davis.
Danny A. Shabeya.
Irfan Issa,
Sean L. Chen.
Tinsley A. Gallion III.
Jean P. J. Shern.
Yu Hung Hong,
Jenny J. Choi.
Margaret Diane Resvon Minsky.
Ross R. Crowley II.
Maricela Montoliu Munoz.
Marissa A. Comon. Nay.
Michael B. Johnson.
Michael J. Daly.
Stanley E. Sklaroff.
Richard M. Damasco.
Alan C. Shaw.
George J. Delagrammaticus.
Abel Valenzuela Jr.
Jeremy D. DeJong.
Pierre St. Hilaire.
Richard E. Damascos.
Louis M. Weitzman.
Amber N. Dudley.
Advanced degree diplomas will now be presented to students in the School of Engineering who have completed the specified degree requirements. Master of Science in Civil and Environmental Engineering, Takahiro Aoyagi.
Ryan D. Ellert.
Ruben R. Barosio.
Hans Jacob S. Fetter.
Louis M. Benitez Plochud.
Arthur Fong.
Jason L. Bialon.
Eric Fong.
Yoshko Brakus.
Stephanie Ford.
Mehmet E. Shumlibel.
Brandon D. Fountain.
Xu Sheng Chen.
Dean L. Frank.
Deborah W. Cheng.
Alejandro A. Garcia Rubio.
Gregory W. Council.
Mark M. Graham.
Emra Ergelin.
Richard D. Hamlin.
Albert K. Essiam.
Alfred Hernandez.
Dimitris Giannakopoulos.
James R. Hernandez.
Michael E. Hesshaus.
Pedro P. Herrera.
Karim M. Hussein.
Carlos H. Hidorvo Chavez.
Joshua A. Joseph Jr.
Edgar F. Hilton.
Petros I. Komodromos.
Pei Yi Ho.
Ming Hong Lin.
Mark L. Homer, also Master of Science.
James A. Maconochi.
Thomas J. Hospodar.
Julio Maldonado Mercado.
Ir Chun Hu. How.
Daniel McBrearty.
Jefferson E. Howell.
Satoshi Noguchi.
Ernest Shin.
Javier Rojas Guzman.
Kai Po Shu.
Nathan V. Shapiro.
Tyrus H. Hudson.
Johannes C. Sugioni.
Randy J. Hun.
Kotaro Tanaka.
David K. Inman.
Philip R. Trowbridge.
John M. Jacobs.
Daisuke Huimura.
Andrea L. Jensen.
Numer V. Ibanez.
Jock T. Jones.
Ziad E. Zakaria.
Jason A. Young.
Master of Science in Mechanical Engineering, Paul J. Aquaviva.
Erica T. Kashibushi.
George F. Arenas.
Peter W. Kasakian.
Hugo M. Ayala.
Scott T. Keller.
Srihari Balasubramanian.
Bonnie N. Kim.
Rajesh Bilimoria.
Jonathan M. Cole.
Kristen A. Bolke.
Ann S. Conan.
Chad M. Brooks.
Yayat Kumar.
Maria Carrascosa.
Eunice C. Kwok.
Joseph E. Chen.
Wayne Lamb.
Kuo Shen Chen.
Stephen P. Laramie.
Shay S. Chen.
Andrew J. Loris.
Thomas R. Corrigan.
Ray C. Lee.
Douglas S. Crawford.
Nina J. Lecco.
David J. Danitz.
Javier Loro Shano.
Deborah A. Delmania.
Gordon S. Lewis.
Amit S. Dadwal.
Stephen M. Lynn.
Roland L. Doubleday Jr.
Kristen C. Lohman.
Greg M. Duttaler.
Serwin Ma.
Yeah. Carsey A. Hall III.
Robert B. McKenzie.
Christopher M. Ho.
Warren D. Marcus.
Susan L. Ipri.
Rhonda K. Massey.
Seungwang Jung.
Tomas A. Matusakis.
Joseph H. Carlin.
Jorge L. Medina.
Taejung Kim.
Frank J. Mestas.
Tarzan Kwok.
Timothy A. Michaelak.
Christopher A. Lurch.
Chabaga Yuna M. Andawi.
Patrick C. Leung.
Dexter M. Mutu.
Lipin Lee.
Malesala K. Mutulana.
Zhuangxia Lin.
Bren M. Maury.
Alexander E. Long.
Eva Moy.
Kathleen S. McKenzie,
Jason T. Mueller,
Ali Y. Orbach,
Shenya Morgan,
Kontong F. Pong,
Trun D. Nguyen,
Jose L. Perez,
Luis G. Ortez,
Andreas C. Funnel,
Carla L. Oshiro,
Lawrence S. Schwartz,
Caroline Pan,
Arthur J. Sitt,
Anuya H. Patel, member of class of 1995 Executive Committee,
Earl S. Sun,
John S. Paulson,
Lisa J. Tegeler,
James A. Pearson,
Michelle M. Teshuba,
Carrie E. Perlman,
Gail M. Thornton,
Raj H. Prabhatar,
Benny W. Chayono,
Michael W. Purcell,
Richard D. Wong,
Astrid A. Richter,
Atsuhiko Watanabe,
Christopher C. Roberts,
Francis Y. Wong,
David C. Roberts,
Joseph S. Wong,
David G. Rodriguez,
Master of Science in Material Science and Engineering, Mayank T. Bulsara,
Warren E. Ross,
Caroline S. Lee,
Jeffrey R. Schwartz,
Patricio F. Mendez,
Donna L. Scott,
David W. Pratt,
Anthony K. Sebro Jr.,
Christopher S. Rice,
Arthur N. Scheckman,
Thomas F. Schaub, Jr.,
Douglas A. Simpson,
Anto Yasaka,
Herbert L. Singleton Jr.,
Zhu Zhang,
Carmen A. Smith,
Master of Engineering in Electrical Engineering Computer Science, William K. Chan,
German A. Soto Sanchez,
Conan B. Daly,
Robert J. Souza,
Todd O. Dampier,
Gina E. Stevens,
Jeffrey C. Dickerson,
Amy J. Swanson,
Marcus Allen Gilbert,
Warren K. C.,
Michael Ismert,
Kevin L. Thomas,
Kuo Yi Lim,
Kwok L. Tron,
Nicholas J. Pioch,
Jose L. Trevina,
Hani S. Salib,
Anikan I. Udabat,
Sachin N. Shaw,
Mukund C. Venkatesh,
Jeffrey R. Van Dyke,
Shalini Verma,
Stanley C. Wong,
Kevin R. Walsh,
Dennis W. Yang,
Jonathan T. Walter,
Master of Science in Electrical Engineering, Computer Science, Joseph A. Ahadian,
Janet Wong,
Eric H. Allen,
Nathan A. Watson,
Adil Bashir,
Joseph G. Whelan III,
Stanley W. Brown,
Kristen E. Smith,
John C. Carney,
Jennifer A. Wozniak,
Michael B. Davidson,
Brian L. Wright,
John D'Souza,
Clara C. Yang,
Marcos Escobar Fernandez de la Vega,
Benny Y. Yaw,
Lynn D. Gabay,
Oscar C. Ye,
George M. Gonsalves,
Daniel L. Young,
Christopher A. Grimo,
Craig B. Zillis, also Master of Science.
Silvina Z. Hanono,
Bachelor of Science is recommended by the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Sama Bhattacharya,
Kazuhiro Hara,
Stefan Budak,
Janie C. Ho,
Stephen J. Carbone,
Mark P. Hurst,
Rama V. Charuvalu,
Robert E. Irie,
Jennifer A. Chow,
Hina Kapoor,
Ryan E. Christensen,
Umair A. Khan,
Matthew J. Cutler,
Bobby Y. Lee,
Jesse C. Darley,
Aparna Lakshmi Ratan,
Rebecca E. Farmier,
Michael Lee,
Susan J. Shea,
Yolana M. Lejedza,
Michael S. Kwan,
Gerardo J. Lemos Rodriguez,
William H. Lee,
Kevin A. Liu,
Mitron C. Matthew,
Desmond R. Lim Chin Song,
Melanie M. Routh,
Christina Manolatu,
Mira Sine,
Matthew J. Marjanovich,
Kay Tao,
Keith D. Martin,
Kaylin Yang,
Yoki Matsuoka,
Bachelor of Science in Material Science and Engineering, Catherine A. Black,
David S. Moore,
Margarita Chang,
Eric L. McDonald,
Christopher T. Chu,
John P. Mellor,
Charles M. Clay, Jr.,
Michael S. Mermelstein,
Eric L. Durier,
Akbar A. Mulji,
Joyce J. Espiritu,
Norishige Morimoto,
Erica L. Hanley,
William P. Moyne,
Edward Hernandez,
Ramakrishna Mukamala,
Lung Wang,
Brent M. Phillips,
Diane E. Hodges,
Luis Francisco G. Sarmenta,
Christine K. Jones,
Aaron M. Schultz,
Sandra K. Zhang,
Jagesh V. Shaw,
Andrew Y. Kim,
Shawei Shen,
Jonathan W. Lai,
Fei K. Shu,
Eric B. Lavick,
Matthew T. Sin,
David Lee,
Michelle S. Spina,
Garland C. Leong,
Jennifer L. Stin,
Ling Liao,
Rajiv J. Surati,
Sheila K. Mathis,
Andrew J. Tang,
Maven McAuliffe,
Carl H. Taniguchi,
Cynthia L. Maury,
Jeffrey W. Thomas,
Julie L. Nigao,
Enrique Trias,
Sarah A. O'Connor,
Andy Chai,
Justin A. Payne,
Praveen A. Vazirani,
Andrew B. Phelps,
Colin J. Vieri,
Richard D. Rial,
Chuksang Wang,
Lee D. Rockford,
David S. Warren,
Tariq A. Shala,
Michael A. Wessler,
Erica K. Schutte,
David A. White,
Roslinda Tamayo,
Matthew M. Williamson,
Patricia L. Washington,
Carl R. Whitty,
Kenneth C. Wu,
Thucydides Stansopoulos,
Benjamin C. Yu.
Quinton Y. Zondervan,
Bachelor of Science as recommended by the Department of Material Science and Engineering, Nidia M. Flores,
Master of Science in Chemical Engineering, Katsuya Ishikawa,
Uday Yunewala,
Russell P. LaChance,
Bachelor of Science in Electrical Science and Engineering, John L. Ahn,
Master of Science in Chemical Engineering Practice, Suman K. Banerjee,
Craig Andrera.
Jane P. Chang,
Craig Andrera also receives the Master of Engineering. Susan E. Bach, also Master of Engineering.
Hong Ming Chen,
James H. Bandy, also Master of Science.
Tony Chen,
Matthew D. Barnhart,
Suyin Chung,
Sumat Basu,
Frederick L. Colhoun,
Matthew E. Becker,
Stephen L. Conway,
Rajat Bahagva,
Matthew S. Dyer,
Tamaya S. Bahanaga, also Master of Engineering.
Morton A. Engel,
Marcy R. Black,
Joydeep Goswami,
Gregory S. Campbell, also Master of Engineering.
Scott T. Johnston,
Heather A. Campbell,
Marcus J. Langner,
Marie E. Castro,
Anna I. LaPlaza,
Christopher I. Chang, also Master of Science.
Jean C. Lin,
Eric C. Chang,
Arpan P. Mahorolvala,
Zuyun T. Chang, also Master of Engineering.
Garrett H. Sin,
Shoran Chatterjee,
Peter Tikoff,
Edmund G. Chen, also Master of Science.
Bernard K. Wong,
Bernard Y. Chen, also Master of Engineering.
Lei Zhang,
Eting K. Chiu, also Master of Science.
Master of Engineering and Ocean Engineering for the first time, Joseph A. Kersio,
Thomas C. Chu, also Master of Science.
Daniel T. Pippinger,
La Ming L. Chun,
Master of Science in Ocean Engineering, Wesley H. Brewer,
Bradley B. Komar,
Johnny Klepswick,
Tobara T. Constantina,
Inigo J. Puente,
Charles T. Curtis II,
William D. Ramsey,
Brian C. Davison,
Monique V. Sinmauer,
Michael T. DeCerbo,
Raiden D. Susanto,
Timothy J. Dirksen,
Master of Science in Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Leonidas M. Cambinas,
Pareen S. Dallo,
Alfonso de la Cruz Alvarez,
Komlan O. Edu,
George D. Marguetes,
Aaron G. Egosny, also Master of Engineering.
Master of Science in Naval Architecture and Marine Engineering, Naval Construction Engineering, Eric J. Ford,
Matthew W. Eldridge, also Master of Science.
Peter J. Pope,
Yasir K. Ely,
Gosselin S. Turgeon,
Don L. Farber,
Rob C. Wilcox,
Alan E. Friedman, also Master of Engineering.
Master of Science in Ocean Systems Management, Laurent Rivolier,
Anos H. Gandhi,
Master of Science in Aeronautics and Astronautics, Robert E. Alhannatis,
Helena H. Ying,
Amir R. Amir,
Igor Diaganta, also Master of Science.
Ioannis Anagnostakis,
Nupur Gupta,
Bradley T. Burchett,
Rohit Gupta,
Huang Han Chen,
Mark D. Hansen, also Master of Engineering.
Beaufort R. Conley,
Mark E. Hefferman,
Emmanuel M. DeHop,
Jeffrey F. Hong, also Master of Science.
Andrew K. Fung,
Raymond E. Edeker III, also Master of Engineering.
Kamyar Gandhi,
Shahida Eep, also Master of Science.
Timothy S. Glenn,
Jeremy I. Iskoff,
Karen D. Gondoli,
Sheila Jahawar,
Rajesh Khan,
John C. Jones,
James A. Kluka,
Laura S. Giuliano,
Lauren K. Kuchner,
Kiraso Cariholius, also Master of Engineering.
Federico Martinez Tomayo,
Carl E. Kepler,
Kazumi Masuda,
Malloy Kondo,
Robin Olson,
Salika M. Langford,
Grant Schaffner,
Stephen M. Levis, also Master of Science.
Carl U. Schultz,
Xiao Tong Lu, also Master of Science.
Graham B. Shaw,
Mauricio Lopilin Stupaginan, also Master of Science.
Nathan E. Smith,
Jerome C. Liu, also Master of Engineering.
John C. Stoll,
Paul A. London,
Ryan L. Wardell,
Arvin Malhan,
Richard R. Wickham,
Elliot J. Mason III,
Master of Science in Nuclear Engineering, James H. Curtis,
Tenuang A. Maung, also Master of Engineering.
Essam H. Habush,
John W. McLean, also Master of Science.
Brett T. Mattingly,
Christopher W. McKinney, also Master of Engineering.
John P. Novak,
Gregory A. McLaren, also Master of Engineering.
Lauren D. Simon,
James D. Malurkin IV,
Peter H. Spranger,
Michael W. Minich, also Master of Business Administration.
Michael G. Terek,
Agha I. Misra, also Master of Science.
Master of Science in Technology and Policy, Andrew P. Kapp,
Jose O. Miranda,
Alice K. Kapaniti,
Rajan Murthy,
Cha Wen Chang,
Raman Nagaramanjan, also Master of Science.
Chongping Chen,
Jean O. Nam, also Master of Engineering.
Nicholas B. Gertler,
Jocelyn T. Lee,
Judith A. Hogan Sheldon,
Matthew A. Niemark,
Raymond K. Joe,
James M. Nahurdin, also Master of Science.
Masahiro Kimura,
Ivan K. Oy,
Uli Knirsch,
Peter O. Orando,
Arthur P. Nimchevsky,
Anthony D. Patiri,
Dimitrios Politis,
Ramirigio M. Perales, also Master of Science.
Renata A. Pomponi,
Luz V. Rivas,
Mark D. Stoughton,
John J. Rodkin,
Louis J. Sweeney,
Jonathan D. Rosenberg, also Master of Science.
Corey W. Sylvester,
Jason M. Sachs,
Takaaki Takeuchi,
Rohit Shagaua, also Master of Engineering.
Eugene Vamos,
Luis A. Santiago Rosado,
Scott D. Wright,
James P. Sarvis, also Master of Engineering.
Alice M. Yates,
Stephen R. Shaw,
Master of Science in Transportation, John L. Bowman,
Hemraj S. Sodhi,
Jiang Cheng,
Araceli Soto,
Michelle M. Francoise,
Julie A. Stevens,
Scott D. Friedman,
Vikoslav Sevlan,
Nagaswa Rao V. Jonalagada,
Hung Chao Tai, also Master of Engineering.
Rajiv C. Longchang,
Johnson C. Tan, also Master of Science.
Yoshiyasu Murashige,
Zovomir Turchinov,
Chai Tifua,
Kirsten P. Erland, also Master of Engineering.
Daniel L. Roth,
Leandro A. Veltri, also Master of Engineering.
Martin A. Schlenker,
Jonathan M. Walton, also Master of Engineering.
Lucy N. Shaw,
Sirmal Wanju, also Master of Engineering.
Joan L. Walker,
Sun Man Wu, also Master of Engineering.
John L. Wilson,
Elaine C. Yu,
Master of Science without specification of field, Gonzalo M. Barrientos Gutierrez,
Charles X. Yu,
David L. Bombard,
Daniel J. Zahn, also Master of Engineering.
Peter D. Cheng,
Noah D. Zamadir, also Master of Science.
Jeffrey R. Cole,
Lee Zamir,
Kevin E. Gilpin,
Tringhua Chiang,
Arya Landstrom,
William W. Zhu, also Master of Engineering.
Michael L. Reinerson,
Bachelor of Science in Engineering, in Electrical Engineering and Computer Science, Rajesh A. Armadan.
Randolph B. Tomei,
Sahil Bansal,
Murali K. Vamulapati,
Andrew W. Bihari,
Ming-Chi Wang,
Lorelli D. Kapapan,
David P. Willett,
Brian D. Karlstrom,
Edward M. Willonis III,
Hovig V. Chirtalian,
Mechanical Engineer Masaki Senga,
Alan F. De La Spinesi, also Master of Engineering.
Electrical Engineer Bing Wong,
Shilpa M. Hatagandhi, also member of class of 1995 Executive Committee.
David J. Weatherall,
Elaine M. Hio,
Ocean Engineer Platon M. Valonius,
Which one? Read Thomas down here.
Thomas Dang,
Naval Engineer, Naval Construction and Engineer Nikolaos Kafetsis,
Craig A. Henderson.
Agnes M. Mayu.
Mildred C.U. Lee Cole.
Jeffrey W. Stetler.
Jen M. Kim, also Master of Engineering.
Henri W. Zachick.
Richard Lockman.
Michael Ziv.
Jimmy C. Lai, also Master of Engineering.
Nuclear engineer Kevin B. Terry.
Danielle G. LeMay.
Doctor of Science with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto, Boutros S. Aboud Klink.
Michelle G. Lombardi.
Michael R. Ames.
Jonathan E. Michelson.
Michael S. Branicki.
Edward J. Olabay.
John F. Carrier.
Chi K. Oi.
John H. Chun.
Dennis O. Uma, also Master of Engineering.
Tracy M. Clark.
Charlie C. Pan.
Rahul P. Digga.
Magdalena A. Perniak, also Master of Engineering.
Adrian Garakani.
Christopher F. Peasy.
Volkan C. Kabali.
Ben Y. Rice.
Sangman Kwak.
Scott A. Rhodes.
Wei Liu.
Nathan R. Schnidman.
Martin M. Mora.
Herb Sin.
Uchu Mukai.
Prashant Sinha.
Filipos Patsiogiannis.
Samad Sumuro.
Penioski A. Peñamora.
Runjini Chirag Antaya.
Sung Jae Song.
Edward F. Tao.
Andrew P. Washabal.
Arun M. Thomas.
Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto, Beth A. Honor.
Shaniqua T. Williams, also Master of Engineering.
Pascalis Alexandridis.
King Chung Woo, also Master of Engineering.
Christine D. Allen.
Kareem A. Zangul.
Tao D. Alter.
Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Engineering. Asi M. Agoyo.
Philip Alfelda.
Afrodunin Ahmed, also Master of Engineering.
Shumei Y. Askey.
Lokman Alwi.
Javed A. Aslam.
Brian C. Bermat.
Wei C. Ao.
Richard K. Brankton, also Master of Engineering.
Adriana T. Bernardino.
Jeremy H. Brown, also Master of Engineering.
Marguerite Baitke.
Alberto Castillo.
Lawrence J. Bonasar.
Tun Chan, also Master of Engineering.
Jamil Bulabal.
James S. Chang.
James F. Brett.
Leo S. Chang, also Master of Science.
Eric A. Brewer.
Zhu Yi Chen.
Kevin L. Brown.
Franklin S. Cho, also Master of Engineering.
K. L. Brubaker.
Wei Hao Chuang.
Barbara M. Bryant.
Charles L. Compton III, Master of Engineering.
Martin Burkhart.
Richard C. Davis, also Master of Engineering.
Mitchell H. Berman.
Christopher A. Daler.
Jane Chow.
Adam F. Fetter, also Master of Science.
Stefano Casade.
Danielle Garcia.
David L. Chaikin.
David X. Gaxiola.
Bertha P. Chang.
Mohammed A. Hindawi.
Eric I. Chang.
Jeremy R. Henry, also Master of Science.
Hua Ping Chang.
Michael W. Hermas, also Master of Science.
Yao Yi Chang.
Angela H. Hendricks, also Master of Science.
Ching Chu.
Peng Shun Huang, also Master of Engineering.
Ronald W. Chu.
Cesar A. Hurtado.
Grace E. Colon.
Megan C. Jasic, also Master of Engineering.
Matthew Conti.
Melissa L. K., member of the class of 1995 Executive Committee.
Timothy J. Dalton.
Naved A. Khan, also Master of Science.
Dayan Dendekar.
Jishan R. Khan, also Master of Engineering.
Vivek R. Dave.
Ing Kiet Kaur, also Master of Engineering.
Mark S. Day.
Raphael H. Coe.
Scott E. Deering.
Theodore J. Coe, also Master of Science.
Christopher R. Dorr.
Douglas B. Kern.
Joel S. Douglas.
Joshua D. Koppelman, also Master of Engineering.
Lisa G. Drone.
Bruce R. Krasiak, also Master of Engineering.
Shu Jun Eberlein.
Conroy Lee.
Brian S. Eberman.
Jillian Lee.
Ole J. Emmerhoff.
Walter C. Lee, also Master of Engineering.
Michael J. Ernst.
Patricia J. Liu.
Cheng Yong Fei.
Howard J. Liu, also Master of Engineering.
Paul W. Fegood.
Victor M. Lurchenganko, also Master of Science.
James A. Fisk.
Michelle McDonald.
Anita M. Flynn.
Delano J. McFarland.
Shahid K. Gadar.
Christopher W. Merkel.
William D. Goldenthal.
Robert C. Miller, also Master of Engineering.
Juan A. Gomez Giamatti.
Anka Mushuyu.
Srinivasa Rao Gorti.
Daniel T. O'Brien.
Michael A. Graff.
Howard W. Pan.
David R. Greenberg.
Masalutnano A. Poleto.
Panyin Gu.
Jessica F. Ku.
Alexander S. Gimaras.
Dahana J. R. Rangade.
Shail Ajitya Gupta.
Jore Rammer.
Mariano E. Gurfinkel Castillo.
Brett S. Reed.
Vijay B. Halabe.
Eric R. Richard.
Robert M. Harris.
Scott W. Rixner, also Master of Engineering.
Anthony E. Hachanova.
Brian D. Robertson.
Frederick P. Herman.
Mario A. Salinas.
Irvin L. Hetherington.
Wilfredo Sanchez Vega.
Andrew J. Hoffman.
Clara Sanchez, also Master of Engineering.
Britt A. Holmain.
Sahana E. Sarma.
Cohen Shea.
Dominic J. Satorio, also Master of Engineering.
Chon Yi Hu.
Brian M. Scazzaletti, also Master of Engineering.
Matthew R. Heyer.
Douglas A. Schreiber.
Heather E. Inglefield.
Benjamin M. Serij.
Arman Ingolfsson.
Linda Shan.
Stephen H. Isabel.
Hassan Sharif.
Masahiro Iwano.
Shuhorning Shia.
Richard A. Jacobs Cardozo.
Ben H. Shi.
Jarvis B. Jacobs.
Alan Shu, also Master of Engineering.
Chang Hee Chang.
Matthias D. Schiebler, also Master of Engineering.
Yang Chang Ju.
Jonathan C. Shu, also Master of Engineering.
Tarun K. Kapoor.
Bridget A. Spitznagel.
Jens O. Carlson.
Darisha Teklapayukul.
Saeed A. Khalid.
Kenneth V. Volmer.
Mohammed M. Kamira.
Peter Y. Yao.
Hik-Yong Kim.
Rupert C. Young, also Master of Science.
Yoon-Woo Kim.
Denko M. Zidarik Sudaviki.
Jingu Kim.
Bachelor of Science in Chemical Engineering, Camille O. Anderson.
Tang Ju Kim.
Lizette Arce.
Patrick G. Kinnicott.
Tracy A. Black.
Alexandros Koulouris.
Brett W. Bader.
Eddie Curry,
Bridget E. Banis,
James K. Kuchar,
Cynthia M. Blake Powell,
Christian Kurtz,
Renee F. Bourbon, Jr.,
Leonid C. Lev,
Ricardo E. Calderon,
Ross B. Levinsky,
Ricardo J. Campbell,
Randy S. Lewis,
Nikki L. Carruthers,
Richard G. Lewis II,
Charmaine W. Chan,
Kevin Lee,
Esther K. Chang,
Bang Hong Lim,
Jennifer K. Chunk,
Christopher J. Lindblad,
Anna B. Chuang,
Charlene A. Liu,
Yvette M. Krosky,
Chai Chi Lo,
Stephanie L. DeWeese,
Mark E. Lucente,
Brian P. DeVasta,
Gino K. Ma,
Shang D. Dong,
Gregory T. Martin,
Prashant B. Doshi,
John W. Martin,
Matthew E. Edstrom,
Michael C. Mason-Jones,
Miranda S. Fahn,
Timothy J. McCoy,
Eric P. Freeman,
Helen M. Meng,
Phoebe C. Fu,
Jiqueen J. Mang,
Shinya Fukada,
Robin B. Mitchnick,
Raul Garg,
Crispin M. Miller,
Robert W. Gray IV,
Eric L. Miller,
Tommy A. Henderson,
John B. Miller,
Albert R. Hernandez,
Glenn E. Moglen,
Gilbert R. Hernandez,
Christine M. Moore,
Nancy M. Ho,
John T. Murphy,
Eve J. Kissenpfennig,
Tetsuo Ohara,
Yi Chuan Ko,
Toshimasa Ota,
Matthew E. Kanowski,
Karen I. Palmer,
Amy K. Koo,
Boaz Pat,
Bonnie Key,
Edward P. Perez,
Albert S. Lau,
Robert R. Plater,
Ayana R. Lee,
Lazaro C. Palimenakos,
Gwendolyn K. Lee,
S. Raghavan,
Yihan Lee,
Ganesh N. Ramaswamy,
Soo Kyung Lee,
Denis Rancourt,
Katie M. Leo,
Jonathan A. Reese,
Joseph C. Levesque,
Ong C. Rim,
Lucia J. Lim,
Todd H. Ryder,
Stella C. Limberis,
Carlos Rojas Guzman,
Maria N. Manzanares,
Kurt W. Roth,
Rose Marino,
Hiroshi H. Saito,
Agustin Martinez,
Sateria Salim,
Antonio Morales Pena,
Robbie I. Samantha Roy,
Javier A. Nazario Laro,
Elliot M. Schwartz,
Elba A. Nazario,
Roberto Segala,
Amechi Wachuku,
Edward O. Schaefer II,
Mei Ling Pan,
Tonghu Shang,
Portia S. Parkinson,
Amelio H. Shen,
John S. Parkowitz,
Krishna V. Shenoy,
Kataki N. Patel,
Barbara G. Shin Cunningham,
Kristen M. Persons,
Stephanie Simmons,
Lakeisha N. Powell,
Jurgen H. Smet,
Sherry Y. Ramon,
Elena Solo Gabriel,
John C. Ree,
Marlena A. Spears,
Tyrell J. Rivers,
Anselm Spurry,
Fuad P. Sod,
Thomas F. Stahovich,
Oliver Schneider,
Maureen M. Stancic,
Alexis P. Segoras,
William B. Stockton,
Stephanie L. Shaw,
Lisa T. Sue,
Raul A. Shandure,
Tom Sverchek,
Jill M. Sherwood,
Kenneth S. Shada,
John F. Simmons,
Koichi R. Tamura,
Olivia I. Sue,
Manu A. Tatang,
Aristides M. Somariba,
Theodore V. Theodosopoulos,
Ryan C. Starzak,
Sivan A. Toledo,
Keisha M. Steele,
Ariel J. Traber,
Janavi Swami,
Karsten Trulson,
Catherine L. Taylor,
Julie A. Tsai,
William C. Tran,
Chei-Chi Tsao,
Frederica C. Turner,
David N. Shea,
Chitra Viswanathan,
Christopher B. Uminger,
Laura J. Vojodic,
Aya J. Vanden Kroonenberg,
Wendy H. Ye.
Matthew J. Van Doren,
Bachelor of Science as recommended by the Department of Chemical Engineering, Ellen F. Block,
David R. Wallace,
Thomas S. Doyle,
Xiao Dong Wang,
Pablo Herrero Jimenez,
David J. Warkentine,
Sherry H. Shung,
Adrian M. West,
Sharif F. Ibrahim,
Lauren F. Wild,
Edward Kohler, Jr.,
John J. Vlasich,
Heather M. Lee,
Colin A. Walden,
Lee M. Periole,
Haiping Shu,
Justin A. Strittmatter,
Buho Yang,
Bachelor of Science in Ocean Engineering, Neil A. Best,
Michael J. Yasemski,
William C. Chavez,
Chong S. Yun,
Jennifer R. Mahalingapa,
Shi Yuan,
Daniel P. McGann,
Zimin Zhang,
Bachelor of Science in Aeronautics and Astronautics, Mukwabi Guzha Ali Baruhu,
Jing Fon Zhu,
Carlos A. Agnesis,
Ching Zhou,
Janine R. Alt,
Diana A. Drake,
Robert R. Berrimond, oh, okay.
My own? Advanced degree diplomas will now be presented to students in the School of Humanities and Social Science who have completed the specified degree requirements. Master of Science in Political Science, Peter Biegelbauer.
Franz D. Bussi,
Heather S. White.
Scott N. Carpenter,
Master of Science in Linguistics, Andrea S. Lezik.
Sashira Castro Zapata,
Doctor of Philosophy with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto, Walter T. Bailey.
Alfredo E. Colon Volgamore,
Amy E. Blitz.
Nathaniel L. Crosswhite,
Ludwig B. Cincarini.
Trevor J. Curtis,
Austin D. Goolsby.
Lynetta S. Frazier,
David B. Gross.
Anthony Gonzalez,
David M. Hart.
Deborah N. Gustafson,
David A. Hunter.
Sean J. Hannigan,
Darrell D. Jung.
Daniel D. Herda,
Catherine Kozlicki.
Keith S. Jackson,
Jesus Guillermo Lorente Alvarez.
Robert J. Kindle,
Christine S. Meyer.
Burton M. Knapp,
Dale D. Murphy.
Adam P. London,
Lucia A. Nixon.
Barbara C. Manganis,
Laura W. Reed.
Christine D. McManus,
Wade E. Roush.
James D. Mitchell,
Theodore S. Sims.
Michael M. O.,
Thomas J. Skinner.
Jonathan M. Protz,
Jeffrey M. Starr.
David B. Ron,
Coleman S. Strumpf.
Robin L. Smith,
Judith L. Twig.
David M. Spetman.
Geronimo Zettelmeyer.
Thomas P. Tierney.
Advanced degree diplomas will now be presented to students in the Sloan School of Management. For the first time ever, the degree of Master of Business Administration, Pepe Advanjaya.
Anna M. Tomasini.
Lauren L. Allen-Smith.
Jennifer L. Schutte.
Faustino Alvarez Frejas.
Bachelor of Science in Nuclear Engineering, Emanuela Binello.
Amy P. Anderson.
Mary Bell L. Delfos.
Darcy M. Andrew.
Karen M. Green.
Eleanor Gray Baldwin.
Bridget M. Hanser.
Deborah J. Bine.
Humera Khan.
Eric Bernard.
Ruth Lim.
Licia Milani Bielowski.
J.C. Van Antwerp.
Christopher J. Bradbury.
Bachelor of Science diplomas will now be presented to students in the School of Humanities and Social Science who have completed the specified degree requirements. Bachelor of Science in Economics, Sabrina N. Bernold.
William R. Buell, Jr.
Crawford A. Hoyt Blakely.
R. Bradley Burdick.
Rajneesh A. Chitale.
James L. Berger.
Hernando A. Cortina.
Howard E. Busnitsky.
Ezra G. Erb.
Alberto Capriles Santandera.
Jody M. Fingerman.
Richard J. Carter.
David M. Froman.
Juan C. Sebral.
Batika S. Khan.
Mark A. Cheshire.
Asim I. Kawaja.
Luigi Chua.
Susan Lee.
Konstantinos Constantino.
Jung Ah Lim.
Canio Cobra.
Louis L. Lim.
Duc Dam Hui.
Catherine J. Manjung.
Jose Maria de la Torres Barrera.
Stephen J. McNamara.
Daniel A. DeSanto.
Kenneth L. Yang.
Craig A. Fingold.
Waitong J. Chu.
Ann E. Forster.
Bachelor of Science in Political Science, Yara I. Almaboniga.
Masakazu Fujiwara.
Jennifer J. Brady.
Guillermo Garza.
Robert A. D'Onofrio.
Daniel R. Gilman.
Danielle C. Goodman.
G. Hun Jim.
J. Paul Kirby.
Clark M. Goff, Jr.
James L. Kirtley V, also Master of Science.
Kenneth A. Goldberg.
Carrie B. Miller.
Raymond Gonzalez Carrillo.
Colin M. Page.
Daniel S. Greenberg.
Richard Preston.
Thomas M. Gross.
Bachelor of Science in History, Amy K. Schneider.
Max C. Hansen.
Bachelor of Science in Music, Jose L. Elizondo Seshenas.
Greg E. Hardy.
Beth E. Sears.
Olivia A. Hecht.
Bachelor of Science in Writing, David R. Futato, Jr.
Susanna W. Hill.
Bachelor of Science in Humanities, Joshua D. Abrams.
Takashi Hirai.
Hina H. Ansari.
Agnes Y. Ho.
Matthew H. Braun.
Wan Ling Ho.
Rebecca D. Kaplan.
Francis H. Hodsell.
Michelle L. Matthews.
Kristen W. Horton.
Bachelor of Science in Humanities and Engineering, Dante N. Anderson.
James J. Hosker.
Derek W. Forbes, Jr.
John K. Hoyt.
Timothy W. Kwan.
Anne Marie Hughes.
Paulo A. Pereira.
Kunihiro Ichita.
Krista S. Sar,
Trin Indra Opas,
Bachelor of Humanities in Humanities and Science. Stormy D. Charles,
Eno Jackson,
Teresa A. Esser,
Yuk An S. Jian,
Bachelor of Science in Philosophy, Humair Yusuf.
John P. Joseph,
Bachelor of Science diplomas will now be presented to students in the Sloan School of Management who have completed the specified degree requirements. Bachelor of Science in Management Science, Hakan S. Anson.
Sante June,
Christian M. Bates,
Andreas Kempf,
Stephen O. Bertram,
Martin C. Kaminer,
Yu Hui Chen,
Hidekazu Kasahara,
James N. Chong,
Gun H. Karisteshi,
Shradha De Dalal,
Julie A. Kim,
Douglas Y. Fong,
Yutaka Kodaira,
Amy Garza,
Yuji Kurahashi,
Jalene Han,
Stanley P. Lai,
Jeffrey L. Herring,
Julie Y. Lee,
Cam N. Huang,
Joan Yorak,
Sabrina W. Shea,
Fernando Lopez Soriano,
Carrie A. James,
Diana Magnani,
Cecile R. Jean,
Takashi Masuda,
Miles T. Kafka,
Hiromichi Matsudaira,
Kyung Y. Kim,
James D. McIntosh,
Daniel T. Kong,
Khazro Mirzad,
David D. Kwong,
Ricardo Mendoza,
Richard Liu,
Christopher A. Myers,
Lydia J. Lin,
David Maloney,
Pansy C. Lin,
Maria Teresa Monaco,
C. E. Makepeace,
Allison C. Moran,
Amy D. McKenna,
Andre R. Morkel,
Elizabeth Y. O.,
Kinley Mint Yu,
Patrick F. Orlando,
Takahisa Nakagawa,
Aaron M. Phillips,
Shingo Nakamura,
Sherman S. Powell,
Akihiko Nakaoka,
Paul R. Stollard,
Helen M. Ing,
David M. Sukoff,
Axel E. Nielsen,
Hans R. Taparia,
Hidotomo Nishi,
Philip W. Tricadis,
Nuno F. Nunes,
Chad R. Van Delden.
Suzanne C. Oakley,
Bachelor of Science diplomas will now be presented to students in the School of Science who have completed the specified degree requirements. Bachelor of Science in Chemistry, Joseph W. Barkow,
Yoji Oda,
Alisa R. Benson,
Francisco J. Officialdega,
Sarah D. Brooks,
Andrew Olmsted,
Marcel P. Bruchet, Jr.,
Masahiro Oshigi,
Joe S. Chung,
Carl E. Prindle,
Catherine Cho,
Roberto Rani,
Christopher C. Davis,
Vijay K. Ramani,
Mindy I. Davis,
Andrew H. Rebelli,
John Del Monte, Jr.,
Younggang F. Wren,
Diana G. Goldenson,
Mark G. Reddick,
Daniel J. Hausman,
Simon T. Roberts,
Arifa Hussein,
Elizabeth A. Rogomentich,
Grace Y. Huang,
Timothy D. Rowe,
Holly A. Imlach,
Ricardo A. Ruiz Ridobro,
Michelle M. Irizarry,
Yukari A. Segusa,
Danielle D. Janich,
Giovanna Sardi,
Catalina E. LaPlaza,
Diego P. Serbrisky,
Scott E. Laserwith,
Hong Tae Shi,
Jenny Lee,
Herpal S. Sidhu,
Thomas W. Lee,
Rungrith Shiwa Shan,
Chi Kyung Lim, also Master of Science,
Ryan L. Slobodo,
Shirley Lin,
Bung Cheryl San,
Yichin Liu,
Tae Min Song,
Don Liu,
Songyos Sijan,
Alexander W. Peterson,
Paula R. Stick,
Patrick M. Pichone,
Michael F. Stolenwork,
Wayne H. Pitcher III,
Parsi Sukhum,
Clara C. Poon,
Sansini Supat Rajapok,
Jennifer B. Reyna,
Montana Sutuvong,
Lisa Marie Reynolds,
Anthony E. Sutton,
Vina H. Sankapunavar,
Eric B. Sweargold,
Minna M. Singh,
Hiriyuko Takabayashi,
Ta Sheng H. Singh,
George C. Tan,
Heather E. Wages,
Juan J. Tenorio,
Paulus W. Wanundi,
John C. Townsend,
Dean C. Wang,
Francis J. Troyes,
Bachelor of Science in Biology, Minna Z. Alibi,
Nana Y. Ching,
Alejandro Becker,
Takaaki Yumizawa,
Tina H. Bach,
Hans K. Von Delden,
Ashwin Balagopal,
Mylan E. Velchtev,
Alicia C. Bigley,
Gautier P. Vincent,
Megan E. Bowser,
Joachim A. Vandergoltz,
Jesse M. Browning,
Desley A. Webb,
Jenny T. Kemp,
Connie C. Way,
Yvonne R. Chan,
Jerome L. Weiss,
Anthony Chang,
Lauren E. Weiss,
Faisal Chaudhry,
Heather Westwater,
Alexander S. Chen,
Lead Way,
Ann M. Chen,
Andrew T. Yang,
Eugene M. Choi,
Jean-Paul Zalacret,
Terry J. Chong,
June Shang,
Brian A. Davis,
Yining Shang,
Marjorie J. Dello, member of the class of 1995 Executive Committee,
Jae Ming Zhu,
Richard A. Diaz,
Master of Science in Management, Ira D. Edelman,
Levente A. Igre,
Lee S. Allen,
Marcos R. Lugardo,
Arthur H. Altman,
Nicole Y. Fong,
William N. Anderson,
Anna G. Fortunato,
Mari Aoyama,
Edward B. Garin,
Jorge R. Astorga,
Jeff O. Gonzalez,
Roland J. Ayala,
Josephine N. Harada,
Craig S. Belknap,
Victor F. Holmes,
Arturo R. Bettati,
Regina L. Huang,
Emily F. Bruner,
Michael C. Jew,
Carl B. Brown,
O'Neill E. Jung,
William C. Campbell III,
Sarah Y. Keatley,
Michael J. Capel,
Odysseus D. Costas,
Jorge H. Cardenas,
Henry J. Lee,
Pu Young Che,
Gus J. Liotta III,
Nin Chiang J. Chen,
Alice M. Lin,
Mark S. Coggin,
Debbie A. Lin,
James A. Colgan,
Ken J. Lin,
Charles M. DeWitt,
Cynthia H. Liu,
Lancelot F. Drummond,
Yilan Yu,
George S. Emanuel,
Jennifer E. Long,
Ronald R. Frankie,
Alan C. Love,
Diane M. Fries,
Stephen A. Lupercio,
Paul F. Gallagher,
Carolina Martinez Tamayo,
Martha A. Geisler,
Carol Matsusaki,
Brian C. Gilpin,
Ronnie Mera,
Grim S. Jones,
Joshua D. Milner,
Stephen C. Golt,
Isetri Modak,
Francisco Jose T.F. Gonzalez,
Alexei M. Mazorov,
Alberto Haddad,
Michael J. Negrete,
Ete Harel,
Eric G. Olson,
Khalid B. Hashim,
Marina P. On,
Christopher M. Hernandez,
Christina A. Onufrit,
Diana K. Hilburn,
Brian J. Park,
Christopher L. Homsey,
Naveen Pokala,
John C. Hops,
Alexander G. Polanski,
Bradford Houston,
Kristen L. Ratliff,
Fu Wan Shi,
Drew A. Rideout,
Chi Ming Wang,
Melissa S. Rones,
Osamu Ishii,
Gary S. Schofield,
Ding Wei Zhou,
Sejal Shah,
Aretha M. Johnson,
Wesley A. Sherman,
Mary E. Johnson,
Nicole A. Sherry,
Naohiko Karashima,
Afia Siddiqui,
Kunio Kawashira,
Jae Kyung Si Sung,
Melinda A. Kaser, Shoshila S. Hashravani,
Paul T. Spellman,
Karen L. Knoll,
Jonathan P. Storr,
Alberto E. Kasarek,
Amy J. Strong,
Corinne S. Chrysler,
Julia Sue,
Andreas U. Krininger,
Nancy L. Torres,
Mark R. Kurz,
Hua B. Tron,
Luis M. Labardini Deveau,
Tatiana D. Julia,
Joseph L. Lakaitis,
Joseph A. Vase,
Ian P. Lowy,
Smruti J. Vidwans,
David W. Leach Jr.,
Michelle C. Vokak,
Wilder J. Levitt,
L. David Willison IV,
Paul J. Lefave,
Kitji Wong,
Shi Lam Leong,
Michelle S. Wu,
Stuart L. Levenick,
Aaron M. Woolsey,
Portia R. Lewis,
Jeannie C. Wu,
Lichi H. U. Liua,
Alawi A. Yawa Al-Sheikh Ali,
YQ Low,
Nami Yu,
okay. Angela S. Longo,
Russell V. Yu,
Lusaba L. Luzaraga Gotia,
David G. Zapol,
William K. Lyon,
Bachelor of Science is recommended by the Department of Biology, Diana C. Bansila,
Michael G. Menente,
Stephen Y. Chan,
William T. Marshall Jr.,
Shirley Z. Chuang,
David B. Madius,
Sean M. Dotson,
Angelica S. Mayman,
Chandler R. Harbin,
Aaron F. McPherson,
Andrew R. Kaufman,
V.J. Mara,
Jennifer M. Lafayette,
Nagai D. Merrill,
Stephanie L. Moses,
Stephen L. Maservi,
Shannon Moynihan,
Licio A. Menve Lagos,
Lucy Citrulnik,
Michelle M. Mlinarzak,
Claire M. Woodman,
Celestin Manga,
Bachelor of Science in Physics, Matthew J. Antonelli,
Trevor J. Moody,
Edward A. Baltz,
Beatrice C. Moons,
Christopher P. Barrington Lee,
Deborah M. Najar,
Joshua A. Breslau,
Paul E. Nelson,
Fernando A. Broner,
Matthew C. O'Leary,
Judith A. Castellino,
Masaki Okuhara,
Eugene Chang,
Mark A. Parrish,
Hans S. Cho,
John E. Potter,
Ilya A. Entin,
James T. Quinn,
Eliza E. Fulton,
Scott L. Ransley,
Peter M. Goldstein,
Anthony V. Reese,
Elaine C. Gregory,
Jaime Rico,
Elizabeth K. Holmes,
Wiley J. Robinson,
Robin K. Huang,
Gloria L. Rodriguez,
Michael E. Joffrey,
Hope E. Rubin.
Stephen G. Johnson.
Michael P. Roots.
Scott Kesapradis.
Norio Sakai.
Vadim Haynes.
Seiichi Sato.
James W. Landry.
Gautam Srivastava.
Teresa W. Lau.
Douglas L. Sun.
Min S. Lay.
Jimmy C. Tan.
Irwin Lee.
Yuwa Tieo.
Kristen A. Lester.
Robert G. Thompson.
Howard D. Lewis.
Roderick D. Trainum.
Karen S. Lynn.
Thomas R. Wadowitz.
Lucas M. Mockery.
Douglas E. Walker.
Frank V. Marcoline.
Mercedes A. Walton.
Sean P. Ningen.
Daniel P. Wiedock.
Kenneth M. Nollett.
Mark Z. Weiland.
Ronald S. Phelan.
Nicole A.